तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्।
महागणपते नमोस्तुते। महागणपते नमोस्तुते। मातङ्गमुखा नमोस्तुते। मातङ्गमुखा नमोस्तुते। महागणपते नमोस्तुते। हिमाद्रिजासुत नमोस्तुते। हिमाद्रिजासुत नमोस्तुते। ओंकारेश्वर नमोस्तुते। साई ओंकारेश्वर नमोस्तुते। महागणपते नमोस्तुते। मातङ्गमुखा नमोस्तुते। महागणपते नमोस्तुते। हिमाद्रिजासुत नमोस्तुते। ओंकारेश्वर नमोस्तुते। साई ओंकारेश्वर नमोस्तुते। महागणपते नमोस्तुते।
बुद्ध महावीर येशु साई।
बुद्ध महावीर येशु साई।
बुद्ध महावीर येशु साई।
बुद्ध महावीर येशु साई।
वाहे गुरु बोल मनवा। मनवा।
वाहे गुरु बोल मनवा।
बुद्ध महावीर येशु साई।
बुद्ध महावीर येशु साई।
वाहे गुरु बोल मनवा।
वाहे गुरु बोल मनवा।
अल्लाह येशु सतगुरु साई।
अल्लाह येशु सतगुरु साई।
गीता वेद कुरान हो साई।
गीता वेद कुरान हो साई।
तन में साई मन में साई।
तन में साई मन में साई।
रोम रोम में साई साई।
रोम रोम में साई साई।
वाहे गुरु बोल मनवा।
वाहे गुरु बोल मनवा।
वाहे गुरु बोल मनवा।
वाहे गुरु बोल मनवा। बुद्ध महावीर येशु साई। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो भगवते रामरूपाय। नमो भगवते रामरूपाय। नमो भगवते रामरूपाय। नमो भगवते रामरूपाय। नमो भगवते श्यामरूपाय। नमो भगवते श्यामरूपाय। नमो भगवते श्यामरूपाय। नमो भगवते श्यामरूपाय। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। राम रहीम कृष्ण करीम येशु बुद्ध महावीर। 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 सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई देवाय। 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 नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। भगवते रामरूपाय। नमो भगवते रामरूपाय
नमो भगवते श्यामरूपाय
नमो भगवते श्यामरूपाय
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
राम रहीम कृष्ण करीम येषु बुद्ध महावीर
राम रहीम कृष्ण करीम येषु बुद्ध महावीर
सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई देवाय
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 नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
साईनाथ भगवान साईनाथ भगवान
साईनाथ भगवान साईनाथ भगवान
साईनाथ भगवान साईनाथ भगवान
साईनाथ भगवान साईनाथ भगवान
सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं 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 साईनाथ भगवान
साईनाथ भगवान साईनाथ भगवान
साईनाथ भगवान साईनाथ भगवान
बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि
बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि
बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि
बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि
धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि
धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि
धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि
धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि
संघं शरणं गच्छामि
संघं शरणं गच्छामि
संघं शरणं गच्छामि
संघं शरणं गच्छामि
सत्यसाई शरणं गच्छामि
सत्यसाई शरणं गच्छामि
सत्यसाई शरणं गच्छामि
सत्यसाई शरणं गच्छामि
साईनाथ भगवान साईनाथ भगवान
साईनाथ भगवान साईनाथ भगवान
सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं साईनाथ भगवान
सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरं साईनाथ भगवान
साईनाथ भगवान साईनाथ भगवान
साईनाथ भगवान साईनाथ भगवान
बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि
बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि
धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि
धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि
संघं शरणं गच्छामि
संघं शरणं गच्छामि
सत्यसाई शरणं गच्छामि
सत्यसाई शरणं गच्छामि
सत्यसाई शरणं गच्छामि
सत्यसाई शरणं गच्छामि
साईनाथ भगवान भगवान साईनाथ भगवान महादेवा अखिलेश्वरा साई नारायणा अखिलेश्वरा साई नारायणा
करुणाकरा अखिलेश्वरा साई नारायणा
अल्लाह तुम महावीर येशु साई हृदयेश्वरा परमेश्वरा साई नारायणा
हृदयेश्वरा परमेश्वरा साई नारायणा
हृदयेश्वरा परमेश्वरा साई नारायणा
हृदयेश्वरा परमेश्वरा साई नारायणा
महादेवा महेश्वरा साई नारायणा नटनागरा दुःखभञ्जना साई नारायणा
नटनागरा दुःखभञ्जना साई नारायणा
करुणाकरा अखिलेश्वरा साई नारायणा अल्लाह तुम महावीर येशु साई नारायणा
अल्लाह तुम महावीर येशु साई नारायणा
हृदयेश्वरा परमेश्वरा साई नारायणा हृदयेश्वरा परमेश्वरा साई नारायणा
हृदयेश्वरा परमेश्वरा साई नारायणा
महादेवा महेश्वरा साई नारायणा भुवन बांधवा साई भगवान
भुवन बांधवा साई भगवान
भुवन बांधवा साई भगवान भगवान
भुवन बांधवा साई भगवान
मात पिता बंधु सखा तुम हो 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 भगवान
ईश्वर भी तुम हो अल्लाह नानक तुम हो
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 प्रभु यीशु तुम हो महावीर 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 तुम हो
बुद्ध देव तुम हो मेरे प्राणनाथ 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 तुम हो
साई राम साई राम
साई राम साई राम
साई राम साई राम
साई राम साई राम
भुवन बांधवा साई भगवान
भुवन बांधवा साई भगवान
मात पिता बंधु सखा तुम हो भगवान
मात पिता बंधु सखा तुम हो भगवान
ईश्वर भी तुम हो अल्लाह नानक तुम हो
ईश्वर भी तुम हो अल्लाह नानक तुम हो
प्रभु यीशु तुम हो महावीर तुम हो
प्रभु यीशु तुम हो महावीर तुम हो
बुद्ध देव तुम हो मेरे प्राणनाथ तुम हो
बुद्ध देव तुम हो मेरे प्राणनाथ तुम हो
साई राम साई राम
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 साई राम
भुवन बांधवा साई भगवान
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे
अल्लाह ईश्वर साई हरे
अल्लाह ईश्वर साई हरे
अल्लाह ईश्वर साई हरे
अल्लाह ईश्वर साई हरे
गुरु नानक यीशु बुद्ध हरे
नानक यीशु बुद्ध हरे
गुरु नानक सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे।
बाबा सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे।
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे, सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे।
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे, सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे।
अल्लाह ईश्वर साई हरे,
अल्लाह ईश्वर साई हरे।
गुरु नानक येशु बुद्ध हरे,
गुरु नानक येशु बुद्ध हरे।
सौराष्ट्र महावीर साई हरे,
सौराष्ट्र महावीर साई हरे।
सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे।
सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे।
बाबा सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे।
बाबा सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे।
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे,
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे।
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे,
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे।
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे,
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे।
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे,
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे।
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे,
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे।
सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे।
सर्वधर्म प्रिय देवा,
सर्वधर्म प्रिय देवा।
सर्वधर्म प्रिय देवा,
सर्वधर्म प्रिय देवा।
सत्य साई देवा,
सत्य साई देवा।
सत्य साई देवा,
सत्य साई देवा।
अल्लाह येशु बुद्ध नानक,
अल्लाह येशु बुद्ध नानक।
अल्लाह येशु बुद्ध नानक।
अल्लाह येशु बुद्ध नानक।
सौराष्ट्र महावीर तुम हो,
सौराष्ट्र महावीर तुम हो।
सौराष्ट्र महावीर तुम हो।
सौराष्ट्र महावीर तुम हो।
राम भी तुम हो, कृष्ण भी तुम हो।
तुम हो, कृष्ण भी तुम हो।
राम भी तुम हो, कृष्ण भी तुम हो।
तुम हो, कृष्ण भी तुम हो।
विश्वरूप तुम हो,
विश्वरूप तुम हो।
विश्वरूप तुम हो।
विश्वरूप तुम हो।
క్షీరాబ్దిశయన నారాయణ క్షీరాబ్దిశయన క్షీరాబ్దిశయన నారాయణ క్షీరాబ్దిశయన శ్రీలక్ష్మీ రమణ నారాయణ నారాయణ హరి నారాయణ 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 శ్రీమన్నారాయణ నారాయణ నరహరి రూప నారాయణ నరహరి రూప నరహరి రూప నారాయణ నరహరి రూప వైకుంఠవాస నారాయణ వైకుంఠవాస వైకుంఠవాస నారాయణ వైకుంఠవాస వైదేహి మోహన నారాయణ హే వైకుంఠవాస నారాయణ వైకుంఠవాస వైదేహి మోహన నారాయణ నారాయణ లక్ష్మీ నారాయణ నారాయణ లక్ష్మీ నత జన పరిపాలన నారాయణ నత జన పరిపాలన క్షీరాబ్దిశయన నారాయణ క్షీరాబ్దిశయన క్షీరాబ్దిశయన నారాయణ క్షీరాబ్దిశయన శ్రీలక్ష్మీ రమణ నారాయణ నారాయణ లక్ష్మీ నారాయణ 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 శ్రీమన్నారాయణ నారాయణ నరహరి రూప నారాయణ నరహరి రూప నారాయణ వైకుంఠవాస నారాయణ వైకుంఠవాస వైదేహి మోహన నారాయణ వైకుంఠవాస నారాయణ వైకుంఠవాస వైదేహి రమణ నారాయణ నారాయణ హరి నారాయణ నారాయణ నరహరి రూప నారాయణ నరహరి రూప క్షీరాబ్దిశయన నారాయణ శ్రీలక్ష్మీ రమణ నారాయణ.
Om Shri Sairam. Offering my loving pranams at the lotus feet of our most beloved Swami, I warmly welcome all of you to this episode of Satsang from Prashanthi Nilayam. Now the topic of this Satsang is 3 minus 1 is equals to 1. What does it actually mean? Any child will tell you that 3 minus 1 is equals to 2. But why has Swami said 3 minus 1 is equals to 1? Let's explore what this means in this satsang. When we look around, when we see this beautiful creation, the huge mountains, the valleys, the rivers, we wonder who is behind this entire creation. In fact, Swami says, who can put a red beak on the green body of a parrot? Which artist can replicate the exact colors of the feather of the peacock? He says, God is the greatest artist. Chitrambulu Vichitrambulu. This whole creation is filled with the mystery of the Lord. So when this creation is a manifestation of the Lord's will, how much are we aware of its mysteries? For example, we are talking about Chandrayaan. Chandrayaan is reaching the moon. But do we actually know what's the distance between the Earth and the moon? It is 3.84 lakh kilometers. Talking about distances and sizes, scientists today say that the smallest particles that they have discovered is quarks. And on the other side, we have the huge expanding universe. Now the quarks, the size of a quark is 10 raised to the power minus 18 meters. We can't even imagine how small that is. And on the other side, we have this ever expanding universe. The diameter of the visible universe is 93 billion light years, or 8.8 into 10 raised to power 26 meters. It's so difficult to comprehend the size of this universe. So that's why it is said, Anoraniyan Mahato Mayan, the Lord is smaller than the smallest and bigger than the biggest. But what is surprising is, Swami says, this entire universe that we see and that we live in is called Bhutakasha. There is gross matter here. But this universe is one small speck in what is called Chittakasha. Now Chittakasha is the realm of the mind, is the realm of the thoughts. And this entire Chittakasha is just one dot or one speck in the realm of the Atman, which is called Chidakasha. So when we talk about this whole equation of 3 minus 1 is equals to 1, how is it related to Bhutakasha, Chittakasha, Chidakasha and everything? What are these three things? 3 minus 1 is equals to 1. So 1 obviously is this universe as we have been talking about. We see this vast expanse, we see this entire creation. That is one of the things. The second is God, because God is the source and the creation is His creation. So here we have the source and here we have the creation. If there are only two entities, then how come we are not able to see God in His form in the entire creation? So there has to be something in between, and that something is Maya. So what God does is He uses Maya to bring about this creation. God is the subject, and it is like God coming and standing in front of a mirror. Now Maya is like a mirror, and when God stands in front of the mirror, you have the reflection, which is this entire creation. So the three entities are God, the mirror, and the reflection, which is the world. So if you remove this mirror, if you remove the Maya or transcend Maya, what remains? Only God remains. Because the reflection is gone. The moment you remove the mirror, the reflection is gone. Only God remains. So that is where the equation comes 3 minus 1 is equals to 1. Now, let us explore a little bit about what this Maya or this mirror does. In the Dakshinamurti Stotram, the first shloka says, Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari. It says, there is a mirror in which this whole city is reflected. And it is as if this entire reflection is happening within you and you being the eternal witness. It is very, very subtle. But that is the power of this Maya. And so there are several definitions about Maya. If you, for example, talk about the three Acharyas, you talk about Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya and Madhvacharya, they have brought out the three philosophies of Advaita, Vishishtadvaita and Dvaita. Now, according to Advaita, Maya is absolute illusion. And you have to overcome Maya to understand your true self. But Vishishtadvaita and Dvaita, they consider Maya as the power of God. Then they say, God is the one who has brought about Maya. So it shows the power of God. Ma-ya. Ma is that which is not, and ya is that which shows you as if it is. So Maya is something which shows you which is not. Some of them say that the aspect of Maya which is used in creation is called Maya, and that same aspect which is used in sustenance is what is called Leela. The Bhagavad Gita, of course, defines Maya as that which is made up of the three gunas. So the Lord created this entire universe through the prism of these three gunas. Now, if you look at it, it's just like a prism. So when a white light enters the prism, on the other side you see several different colors. Another aspect of Maya is called Ichha Shakti. And this is where the goddess Lakshmi is associated. The Shakti aspect is associated with Maya. Now, Ichha Shakti is very interesting because it is the power of the will. Swami would often say, he's Sankalpa Siddha. So with his one will, everything happens. He just has to will it. There's a very interesting story in one of the sacred texts called Tripura Rahasya. It talks about a kingdom called Sundara, in which there is a king who is ruling called Sushena. Now Sushena is wanting to do an Ashwamedha Yajna, and all of us know that during the Ashwamedha Yajna the horse is sent out and the horse goes around and the whole army follows the horse. Now as the horse is going, it enters the hermitage of a sage called Sage Gana. So the entire army is following the horse, and they suddenly come to this ashram. They take the fruits and they are enjoying the beautiful environment of the ashram. And in their negligence, they forgot to pay respects to Sage Gana, who was lost in meditation. Now the son of Sage Gana was seeing this from a distance, and he got very angry that they were not paying respects to his father. So he goes out, catches the horse and starts riding it. Now as soon as the army sees that he is riding away with the horse, they have to follow him. And as they follow him, he goes into a cave. Now they are trying to reach the cave, and suddenly an army emerges from the cave. A huge army emerges, and there's a big battle, and this army of Sushena has been defeated. And all the princes have been captured, and he puts them into a cave and binds them. Now everybody is wondering where this army came from. And Sushena is worried back in the palace that there's no news that the horse has not come back. And he has a brother called Mahasena. And he says, you go and see where the horse has gone. So Mahasena keeps coming, and then finally the path leads him to the same hermitage of Sage Gana. And he sees the sage lost in meditation. And with all humility and reverence, he sits in front of the sage, waiting for him to open his eyes. 2-3 days have passed. That is when the son sees from a distance, and he sees this person is different. He has a lot of reverence. And he comes forth and asks him, what are you here for? What do you want? And then Mahasena says, I have a few questions to ask your father. And then the son says, he is lost in a trance, and he will come back only after 6 years. But since you have been so patient, I will bring him back to consciousness, and you can ask him your questions. And so the son sits in a meditation, and he goes into the subtle form, and he brings his father back. And when his father opens his eyes, him being a great drashta, he immediately understands all that has happened. And he says, you should not have done that. A young ascetic should not have this much of anger. And he says, release the horse and the princess. So the son goes to release the horse. And at that time, the sage is talking to this king, the king's brother Mahasena. And he tells him that he himself was a king. And he had given up everything, and he had come and he had settled down in this ashram in the forest. And when the son comes back, the sage says, but his son wanted the experience of ruling in a palace. He wanted the experience of having an entire kingdom under him. And so the sage taught him the secret of yoga. And Mahasena could not understand what was being said. And he said, how is it possible? I want to explore what it is. And both of them looked at each other and asked Mahasena, are you sure? And he said, yes, of course I'm sure. So they take him. The son takes him to this cave. And as they enter this cave, suddenly there is a completely new universe. There are mountains, there are hills, there are rivers, there are oceans, there are peoples, there are kingdoms, and everything is so beautiful. Now Mahasena is being shown all this by the sage's son. And at the end of the tour, as they come out from the cave, suddenly everything on earth looks very, very different. When he looks around, he says, "Oh God, where is this kingdom? What has happened to this entire place?" Now, the sage's son says, "That is why I asked you, are you sure? Because one day in that universe is equivalent to 12,000 years in this universe, in this earth." So this Mahasena was completely lost, but nevertheless, he was very happy that he got this tour. And he asked the sage's son, he asked him, "What was it?" And he says, "That was a creation that I did with my Ichcha Shakti." So I am the Brahma for that creation, for that entire universe. I am the Brahma. And that is the power of Ichcha Shakti, of that Maya. So that power is in all of us. And Swami uses this power of Ichcha Shakti. And so, as we all know, Swami's one will is enough to manifest anything. There's a beautiful incident which goes back to the year 1946. Now, Swami had told one of the old devotees from Bukkapatnam, Swami had told him that I'll visit this town called Bellari. And all the devotees had made arrangements, they had made food arrangements and arrangements for bhajan, etc. So in a while, Swami's car came, and Swami came, and then along with him were 15 devotees that Swami had told earlier that I would come with 15 devotees. So all the food arrangements were made, and Swami attended the function and had the food and then gave prasad and blessings to everybody and immediately left the place. Now all of them were very happy, but generally when Swami would come, he would stay on for a while. They were wondering why Swami left so abruptly. The next day, however, suddenly Swami arrived again in a bus with all the same 15 people. Now the people in the town were so surprised, and they said, "Swami, what is this? You had come yesterday." The Swami said, No. Yesterday I could not come because you people had prepared all this food. I didn't want you to be upset. So I came in the form of all the 15 people. So yesterday I came in the form of all the 15 people, and today I have actually come in the physical form. So the power of Maya, the power of Leela is so mysterious. When the same Maya is in the hands of the Lord, it becomes his Leela. Another beautiful incident from Swami's life, which brings out the power of this Maya, of this Leela, is that of resurrection of Mr. Walter Cowan. Now, he was in Madras in the year 1971, and Swami was also in Madras at that time. Early this morning on 25th of December, that is Christmas Day, Mr. Walter Cowan had a massive heart attack, and his wife and a few others rushed him to the hospital. Now, the doctor declared that he was dead on arrival. So he had a massive heart attack and he had actually passed away. And Swami was on his way to this hall where this conference was to be held. And suddenly Swami's convoy took a detour. Swami's car took a detour, and Swami went straight into the hospital and brought back Walter Cowan to life. Swami did this, and Swami went back into the to the conference. Now, Elsie Cowan, who is Walter Cowan's wife, had just gone out, and when she came back into the room, she saw that he was sitting on his bed. She was completely surprised, and she asked him what happened, and he said, "Swami came and brought me back to life." Now, this incident itself is superhuman. It is pure Leela of the Lord. But what follows after this is very, very sweet. So a few days later, when somebody asked Swami, "Swami, what made you bring back Walter Cowan to life?" And then Swami gave a beautiful answer. Swami said, "I did not want his wife, Elsie Cowan, to carry back this dead body to the United States of America. He said she would have found it so difficult. My heart was filled with love and compassion. So in order to help her, I decided to bring him back to life." Isn't that amazing? So when you think of it from the Lord's point of view, this entire Leela, this entire Maya, this entire creation means nothing to him. He can create millions of universes with the snap of his finger. But what is amazing is the intention behind this Leela. And this is what Swami has written in one of his letters in the Premadhara, where Swami says, I separated myself from myself to love myself. So the crux of this entire creation, the purpose of this entire creation is love. In the Guru Purnima discourse of 1996, Swami says, we have two aspects in every human being. We are actually Satchitananda, but then there is this aspect of Maya as well. He says Maya is like a breeze, and the moment you associate yourself with the name and form, you are associated with Maya. But the best part of this whole thing is, he says, you want to come out of Maya, there is only one easy path, and that is the path of love. So it is like these rays of light which pass through the prism and they have become different colors. Now, if they want to go back, they have to be in sync with what they were before creation started. And the Lord says that the only purpose, the only motive, or the only intention of this entire creation is love. I separated myself from myself to love myself. So if we are in sync with that love, if we go back to that love and we love the source that is the subject of this entire creation, very soon we will realize our own reality, our own divinity. So that's it for today. And so if next time somebody comes to you and asks you, what is 3 minus 1? I'm sure you will have two answers in your mind, whether to say what is right from the worldly point of view or whether to say what is right from the spiritual point of view. Thank you so much. Sai Ram.
जय जगदीश हरि स्वामी सत्य साई हरि भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वर ओम जय जगदीश सद्गुरुदेवा शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा